Hello everyone, I'm really taken aback by how long it's been since I posted a video. I didn't think my first weeks of schooling would be as difficult and as time consuming as they were, so I've not been able to sit down and make a video and post it. So today I'm just gonna do a relaxed video, one that doesn't need any editing and stuff like that. I'm actually gonna go talk a little bit about how the summer went and what I'm thinking about in terms of things not just in the art world for me. So first off, I did quite a lot of videos over the summer. I wanted to get my YouTube channel up and started again, so I made a lot of videos. And one of the things I had to do, or I started to do, was I made a lot of watercolor things. And so I wanted to kind of go through them today just to talk about how far I've come. So this was the first thing I did on watercolor paper. I think that's from something, but I don't remember what it was. I didn't end up coloring it because I was just too afraid to. And then I did this girl at the start of this year. And I was just getting to know if I wanted to do stuff with lines or without lines, and what I liked and what I didn't like. I made this cactus on the same day because I just really wanted to start getting better at my watercoloring. I made a dragon after I saw a post on Instagram that was a dragon eye or a lizard eye, and I was like, oh, I want to do that. I learned a lot about Sharpies and how they mix with the watercolor, and to be careful when knowing if things are dry or not. This is one of the first pieces I made with watercolor that I really liked. I liked it for a lot of different reasons. It came out just like I had imagined it. It was an original idea, and I don't often come up with original ideas a whole bunch, and I don't often execute them well, so it meant a lot to me. This was another one that I did. I think there's some inspiration behind it, but I don't exactly remember what it was. I did some more tests with how the pen would hold up against the watercolor, and if I had to put it on before or after, or how long to wait for it to dry and stuff like that. This was another one that I did that I really liked because I didn't use a whole bunch of outlines, and so I really liked how the color came outside of the lines and stuff like that. Here's one. I don't have a video on this maybe, but I know it's on my social medias. There's my flower power, because I saw something on Instagram and I said, man, I just want to do flowers. So I did this generic 6-petal flower in all these different colors. Okay, this next set is 3 that I did, 4 that I did in the same day, that I just wasn't feeling well about myself. So I found this song from, how do you say that? Don't bully me, S-I-A, and I really liked it a lot. And then I have this one, says Learn to Love Yourself, from 6am. They have a song, You Are Not Your Skin, and I really like that song, and so I did one of the lyrics from that. And this one's so embarrassing. I did Fat Sandra because I used to be quite obese as a child, to the point where my mom and doctor had to talk about heart disease and diabetes and stuff. And then I drew Sam, and I kind of noticed that I haven't done a whole bunch of watercolor, and this last one was done in May. So it's really been quite a while since I've touched watercolor. And so I wanted to do that today, but as is the college schedule, it does not look like I will have that much time to do it today. So I'm thinking of just, sorry about the drawer, I'm thinking of just making a little bit of fan art for a new Vocaloid song that I heard that I've been obsessed with, which is weird because it really isn't the kind of song I would normally get obsessed with. but it's just really good. And I that looks like soap, but it's really good, and I really like it. So I just, oh God, what am I doing? Sorry, I was looking at the next one. So I decided that I wanted to, there we go, do just a little bit of art for it. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe I will cover that with some paint. Actually, I think I have actual whiteout, though I'm not sure how that's gonna work with this, so I'll just paint over it. But basically, this song came to light for me a few weeks ago. It's called Mind Brand, and it's about this girl who's telling people off in her life, kind of. And she's just, like, is done with having this fake world around her, I guess. And she's just a little bit upset about everything and how people try to portray themselves for who they aren't and stuff like that. If you listen to the lyrics of the song, that might not come through right away because there's quite a bit of, what do I want to say, mature language in the song, and inappropriate subjects in the song. And she talks about things that I wouldn't necessarily fault people for. But it truly is just how she feels, and so I really did like that. This is hard. Just so you know, the way I'm drawing is I'm trying to do, she's like a silhouette with white lines, so instead of drawing black outline is white outline and then colored black, so I'm trying to do that but backwards. It's a little difficult, but I think it's going to be okay. But the song's a really good song. It's actually really catchy, which is one of the things why I like it so much. And I can relate to some of the things that she talks about in the song. Actually, I've been listening to the English cover of it by Jubi, but I've actually never listened to the Japanese cover yet, and I'm wondering how the lyrics differ from what Jubi has sung about. It's not a super popular song. I did a few songs from Vocaloid already. I think this one's sung by Miku as well as Sand Planet. But since I just listened to the English one, I don't know that for sure. I don't want to take up too much time coloring all this in. But I don't want to edit either. Anyway, back to what I was talking about, rambling about. School's been good. If you've seen on my Instagram, if you follow me, I've been doodling a lot in my evolution class simply because it's a 3-hour class, and I just, I need some way to like stay sane through it, so I doodle quite a bit. And I've been drawing Boku no Hero characters, and I just caught up on the anime today. As of right now, I think there's 61 episodes. Actually, I think there's 62, but I haven't watched the 62nd yet. I won't say any spoilers, but my favorite character right now is Bakugo. And I know that that's a slightly controversial thing with why Bakugo is the way he is and stuff. But I don't really think that he's that bad of a person. I just think his feelings are messed up, you know, because he was taught a certain way, you know. His family dynamic is kind of off. I don't want to say off because that's mean, but he has a different family dynamic than a lot of families do, which doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It just means he's gonna act differently because of it. Yes, got it. Sorry, I was concentrating a lot there. But I'm actually thinking about my next cosplay, because if you guys didn't know, I just went to Cincinnati Comic Expo last weekend, and I went as Darkness from Konosuba, and not a whole lot of people knew who I was, but there was an Ida cosplayer there, and there was an Ochako cosplayer there. Uraraka, right, cosplayer there. And they were in their superhero outfits and they were so cool and I couldn't stop thinking about it. And the Ida actually knew who I was cosplaying, and so I felt like really close to the fandom at that time. Is that a weird thing to say? And so I think I've decided that my next cosplay, what am I doing? What do I need to do? My next cosplay is going to be a female Bakugo in his like explosive man hero cosplay, which is a little daunting to be quite honest, because obviously oh my gosh, this is hard, because obviously I have to make everything, and he's got these like really big like cannons on his arms and stuff, so I'm a little worried about it, but I'm thinking I can actually do it, and so I am understandably a little nervous about it, but let me switch pens here. Sorry, let me zoom in for you guys a little bit. Oh, maybe I shouldn't. Here, oh, I can't. I just need to scoot this up. Forget that I'm working in 2 dimensions. Sorry, let's continue. Grab my other pen. So what was I talking about? I think I'm gonna go as Bakugo. I'm actually really happy with the outcome of the last convention. I will be posting a video on that soon. I'm sorry that I haven't yet. It's just because, as I said, I've been busy, but that's no excuse. Everyone's busy, Sandra, what the heck? This is a little difficult. I didn't think it'd be that hard. Be a lot easier if I was just drawing white instead of black on white. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I hope to get that video up soon about the inside the cosplay for that, like I did for the Lucy one back in, gosh, I can't even remember. Months blend together now. But that was also a very good convention. It was very small. This one was very big. Surprisingly big, I would say. Well, not really. It was as big as it was supposed to be, but I kind of thought it would be smaller than it was, and then I got proven wrong. Which made me a little self-conscious about my costume, because like a lot of people had really good costumes there. For instance, the actual Chewbacca was there in costume, and you can kind of tell that the productive value between his costume and mine were, needless to say, not the same. So, but I didn't let that get me discouraged. I can always make a Chewbacca costume if I really wanted to. It might not be that good, but it'd be mine. Think of interesting things to say when you doodle, Sandra. We can talk a little bit about my doodling, actually. I doodled in class. I did Boku no Hero Academia characters. And I found out, oddly enough, that the 2 people who sit next to me, both named Mike, oddly enough, also watched Boku no Hero. And I was like, what? It was crazy. Because, I don't often meet people who also watch anime. Oftentimes I'm like the odd one out in the, oh, I can't say the odd one's out because he's also an art YouTuber. I'm the, sorry, I'm the odd one out in a kind of situation like that. And I almost feel like I can't talk about my interests because a lot of them revolve around anime and the Japanese culture and stuff. Obviously I speak it, right? And so I almost feel left out in certain conversations because I don't know a whole lot about sports, and I don't really, like, I'm quite well rounded, I would say, but at the same time I don't know a whole lot about that kind of stuff. And so this arm needs to match that arm. And so to have these two people next to me be like, dude, you should draw this person next. And I was like, holy crap, you know who that person is, you know? I need the other marker. It was a little bit surprising, to say the least. But we've tried to stay focused in class, but sometimes we do talk about Boku no Hero and just go on tangents about it. I think, actually, someone was talking to me about the fandom for Boku no Hero, because it's supposed to be this, like, really big anime, and it's really good, so I could see why. But people were complaining that perhaps it was going to kind of become like an Attack on Titan, which is like, the anime is fine and all, but the fandom ruins it, you know? Like, I'm sorry if you guys cringe about this, but I really, really liked Hetalia when it came out, and I was a really big part of the fandom for a while, but then I kind of felt like the fandom was odd about certain things. Like, they would make certain things canon that weren't, and, like, I don't know. I was really deep into the fandom, but I was kind of worried they were taking odd liberties. I don't know. I'm also, I'm just, like, chatting about myself. I'm also a really big Miraculous Ladybug fan. Heck yeah, shout out all my Miraculous Ladybug fans. If you can't tell, I made an AMV about Adrien. You can check that out on my channel. But I got asked the other day about the fandom for the Miraculous Ladybug, because people make comics and stuff. And I was asked if the comics take away from the show, which I was surprised, because I wouldn't ever say that, like, fan art takes away from a show, you know? It can make it really popular, and it can help people be like, oh my gosh, what did this happen? That would be cool, wouldn't it? And people can talk about things like that. But it approached me from a different direction. And it was like, no. What if, like, do you think that because you've seen Adrien and Marinette kiss, or because you've seen these things happen and they probably won't ever happen in the show, do you think that that takes away from the show? Like, knowing that this will never happen, like, actually. And I said no, because I think it's important, it's really important to have fan art and stuff. It helps people talk about what they like, and it helps young artists get recognized and stuff. Not that you should use fan art as all of your art, but I do really appreciate some really good fan art artists. And because Miraculous Ladybug is a show in, like, a 3D style, it's interesting to see the characters in a 2D style, and I really, really like that about the fandom, because we don't have that big of a following that is able to use a 3D software like that, like MMD or whatever, and so it's really nice to be able to be like, oh, how do I draw Adrien's hair in 2 dimensions and stuff like that. Obviously, on my channel before, I have drawn Ladybug and Chat Noir and Marinette and Adrien, and I really do like their dynamic. What am I even talking about? At the convention, I saw some Ladybug cosplayers. I actually saw several, which was surprising, because when me and my boyfriend first went to the Indianapolis Comic-Con in April, we saw another Shat, Iowa Shat, but that was it. But at this convention, I saw like 4 Ladybugs and 3 Chat Noirs, and I was like quite surprised. Actually, one Shat cosplayer was with the Allura from Voltron, and I thought she looked really pretty too. But you'll get to see all of that in
the Inside the Cosplay that I'll be putting out hopefully sometime this month. I'm really sorry I haven't posted in like a month. That's crazy to me. Let me think if anything else has been happening. Big life events, Sandra. Come on, be clickbaity or thumbnaily or have something to offer someone.
Let me think. How about I make this not crooked? Let me think. Maybe I could talk a little bit more about myself. Like, I haven't done that enough.
So for any of you wondering, when I talk about school, I am in my second year of college. I'm 19.
Whoop whoop. I'm a Taurus. If anyone cares to know.
I'm actually doing a double major in biology and chemistry. So that's fun. Taking calculus, and I'm trying not to fail it because my dad failed calculus 3 times before passing. I don't know if you remember, but back a while, when did we get him? June? In some of my June videos, I have a cat who is this itty bitty little orange guy, and he interrupted me in the making of some of my videos. His name is Samson. He is living at Sam's house right now, which is why you haven't seen him. He's so big now, though, guys. He's like ginormous. It's too much, to be honest. It's really interesting, because it's been a long time since I've had a cat from when they were little, you know, like all the way since they grew up. Sam's family likes him a lot, but he's causing a lot of trouble around the house. So I'm a little afraid that that's going to cause awkward, like some weird tension in between all of them. But if it does, like, I'll just take Samson back, you know? Like,
Ooh, don't knock over your paint. Oh my gosh, keep your paper straight. Like, I don't really think that's that big of a deal.
We were going to get his claws removed because he kept tearing up some furniture, but then they decided that they felt really bad about doing that. And so when they complained about the furniture being, you know, messed up, I say, well, we can get his claws out, but then they don't want that. And that's the only real surefire way to make sure that he doesn't claw the furniture. Like, you can spray him with water or whatnot, but honestly, if he doesn't have the weapons to do it, then he won't, you know. But he's actually lovely.
He's a lovely cat. I love him so much. This does not look like the picture. Apparently I'm having a bad art day. But that's okay. This is just a random video telling people that I'm sorry about not being online for a month and a half. Oh, that worked pretty well. Sandra, talk. Be interesting. I don't want this to be too thick, but I also want it to cover. You know what I'm saying? I think that's fine. Thanks for listening to my rambling. Sorry I haven't been on in a month, like I said. School's difficult, but I will get up that Inside the Cosplay to you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys soon. And maybe go through a sketchbook tour or something. It'll be really interesting. Thank you.